Hello and welcome. In this video you can see static display of the Xi'an Y-20 Kunpeng Chinese military transport aircraft at the Airpower 22 air show in Austria. General information. Role: strategic airlifter. National origin: People's Republic of China. Manufacturer: Xi'an Aircraft Industrial Corporation. Designer: Tang Chonghong. First flight: January 26, 2013. Introduction: July 6, 2016. Status: in service and production. Primary user: People's Liberation Army Air Force, PLAAF. Produced 2013 present. The Xi'an Y-20 Kunpeng, in Chinese,
运20 Kunpeng,
literally Transport 20 Kunpeng, is a large military transport aircraft developed by the Xi'an Aircraft Industrial Corporation for the People's Republic of China, PRC. The aircraft is nicknamed Chubby Girl, in Chinese,
胖妞,
in the Chinese aviation industry because its fuselage is much wider than aircraft previously developed in China. General characteristics: Crew, 3. Capacity, 55,000 to 66,000 kilograms, 121,254 to 145,505 pounds. Length, 47 meters, 154 feet 2 inch. Wingspan, 50 meters, 164 feet 1 inch. Empty weight, 100,000 kilograms, 220,462 pounds. Maximum takeoff weight, 180,000 to 220,000 kilograms, 396,832 to 485,017 pounds. Powerplant, 4 times Solovyev D-30KP2 turbofan engines, 117.68 kilonewtons, 26,455 pounds of thrust each. Powerplant, 4 times Shenyang WS-20 turbofan engines, 140 kilonewtons, 31,000 pounds of thrust each. Performance. Maximum speed, Mach 0.75. Cruise speed, 630 km per hour, or 390 miles per hour, or 340 knots. Range: 7,800 kilometers, or 4,800 miles, or 4,200 nautical miles, with 2 Type 15 tanks. Ferry range: 10,000 kilometers, or 6,214 miles, or 5,400 nautical miles, with 16.5 tons of freight. Service ceiling: 13,000 meters, 43,000 feet. Wing loading: 710 kilograms per square meter, 150 pounds per square foot. Development. Images of the Y-20 prototype emerged at the end of 2012. The first flight occurred on January 26, 2013. In 2014, a report from the People's Liberation Army's National Defense University stated that the PRC's civil and military transport needed 400 Y-20s. In 2016, Zhu Qian of the Aviation Industry Corporation of China stated that more than 1,000 were needed. The airlifter was developed into the Y-20U tanker variant. To expand the People's Liberation Army Air Force aerial refueling capability, beyond its existing limited and obsolescent Xi'an H-6U fleet. Evidence of the tanker variant emerged in 2018 with satellite images. Its first flight occurred that year. They had begun performing aerial refueling by 2021 and formally entered People's Liberation Army Air Force service in 2022. Design. The Y-20 uses components made of composite materials. The composites are now produced in China, whereas in the past they had to be imported. The Y-20's cabin incorporates flame retardant composites developed by the 703 Institute of the China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, CASC. The 703 Institute was created in March 2009 with development taking 3 years. The performance of the composites is reportedly comparable to those that fulfill Federal Aviation Regulations, Part 25.835. The 703 Institute achieved another milestone by establishing a comprehensive Chinese evaluation and certification system for aircraft composite materials based on international standards. The Y-20 is the first cargo aircraft to use 3D printing technology to speed up its development and to lower its manufacturing cost. Model-based definition, MBD, is also used, and it's the third aircraft to utilize MBD technology in the world, after Airbus A380, 2000, and Boeing 787, 2005. A project team to implement MBD for the Y-20 program was formally formed in October 2009, and after the initial success in application on the main landing gear, MBD application was expanded to the entire aircraft and became mandatory for all contractors and subcontractors of the Y-20 program. The implementation of MBD was initially met with strong resistance, with only a third of suppliers agreeing to implement MBD. However, the general designer of Y-20 declared that those who refuse to implement MBD will be banned from participating in the Y-20 program, thus forcing everyone to comply, resulting in increases in productivity. The implementation of MBD greatly shortened the time required. For example, without MBD, installation of wings takes a month or two, but with MBD adopted, the time is drastically shortened to just a few hours, and in general, the design work reduced by 40%, preparation for production reduced by 75%, and manufacturing cycle reduced by 30%. In addition to 3D printing, the Y-20 is also the first aircraft in China adopting Associative Design Technology, ADT, in its development. Headed by the Deputy General Designer of Structural Design, Mr. Feng Jun, the initial attempt to implement ADT actually failed after 2 months spent on application on the nose section. It was only after the second attempt that took another 3 months on the application on wings did ADT became successful. The adaptation of ADT greatly shortened the development time by at least 8 months, and modification of wing design that previously took a week is shortened to half a day. Cargo is loaded through a large aft ramp that accommodates rolling stock. The Y-20 incorporates a shoulder wing, T-tail, rear cargo loading assembly and heavy-duty retractable landing gear, consists of 3 rows, with a pair of wheels for each row, totaling 6 wheels for each side. The structural test was completed in 194 days as opposed to the 300 days originally planned, thanks to the successful development and application of an automated structural strength analysis system. In comparison, similar work for the Xi'an JH-7 took a year. According to the Deputy General Designer, the shortest takeoff distance of the Y-20 is 600 to 700 meters, 2,000 to 2,300 feet. Y-20 incorporates a total of 4 LCD FEs, and the development of FEs for Y-20 utilizes virtual reality via helmet-mounted display. 8 types of different relays used on Y-20 are developed by Guilin Aerospace Company, Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of China Tri-River Aerospace Group Company, Limited, which is also known as the 9th Academy of the China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation, CASIC. Propulsion. The Y-20 prototypes were powered by 4 12-ton thrust Solovyev D-30KP2 engines, and the aircraft entered production with those engines. The Chinese intend to replace the D-30 with a 14-ton thrust Shenyang WS-20, which is required for the Y-20 to achieve its maximum cargo capacity of 66 tons. The WS-20 is derived from the core of the Shenyang WS-10A, an indigenous Chinese turbofan engine for fighter aircraft. Single-engine testing with the WS-20 may have occurred by February 2019. 4-engine testing may have occurred by December 2020. The engine was in development in late 2021. In 2013, the Shenyang Engine Design and Research Institute was reportedly developing the SFA, a 28,700-pound thrust engine, for the Y-20 and the Comac C919. The SFA is derived from the core of the WS-15. Compared to the WS-20, the SFA is a conservative design that does not seek to match the technology of more modern engines. Testing with the WS-18 may have occurred by late 2017. Compared to the D-30, the WS-18 is 300 kilograms lighter, weighing in at 2,000 kilograms, with thrust increased from 12.5 per ton of the D-30 to 13.2 per ton, and fuel consumption of the WS-18 is also reduced in comparison to the D-30, and the mean time between overhaul of the WS-18 is 3,000 hours. However, because the increase in thrust is not significant in comparison to the D-30, the WS-18 is likely to be a stopgap measure before the WS-20 is ready. Cargo capacity. The Y-20's 4-meter-tall hold can lift up to 66 tons, and transport up to 2 Type 15 tanks or 1 Type 99A tank over a distance of 7,800 kilometers. Operational history. Y-20 landing at Beijing Capital International Airport to transport the Sinopharm BIP vaccine to Cambodia in February 2021. On July 6, 2016, the first serial Y-20, serial number 11051, was handed over to the People's Liberation Army Air Force in a ceremony. The second aircraft, numbered 11052, followed soon after. It was assigned to the 12th Regiment of the 4th Transport Division at Xi'an Y, Chengdu. On May 8, 2018, it was announced by People's Liberation Army Air Force's spokesperson Shen Jinka that Y-20 had recently conducted its first joint airdrop training with the country's airborne troops. On February 13, 2020, the Y-20 was part of a fleet used to deliver supplies and personnel to Wuhan. The operation was part of an effort to mitigate what became the COVID-19 pandemic. A fleet of 11 aircraft was used to deliver 2,600 military medical staff to Wuhan. The People's Liberation Army Air Force fleet of 11 aircraft consists of 6 Y-20s, 3 Yu-76s, and 2 Y-9s transport aircraft. On November 28, 2021, Y-20U aerial tanker was spotted around the southwest side of the Taiwan island among 27 military aircraft. This is the first observation of Y-20U outside inland China. On January 27, 2022, 2 Y-20 aircraft arrived in Tonga after traveling over 10,000 kilometers from Guangzhou Baiyun, delivering 33 tons of supplies including food, fresh water, water purifiers, and tents due to the 2022 Hunga Tonga Hunga Hapai eruption and tsunami. On April 9, 2022, 6 Y-20 aircraft landed at Belgrade Nikola Tesla Airport in Serbia, reportedly delivering a shipment of Fk-3 surface-to-air missile systems. On June 28, 2022, 6 Y-20 arrived in Afghanistan to deliver 105 tons of humanitarian aid in response to June 2022 Afghanistan earthquake. On August 1, 2022, Senior Colonel and People's Liberation Army Air Force spokesperson, Shen Jinka, told a press conference that Y-20 tanker aircraft started combat readiness training. The aircraft is confirmed in People's Liberation Army Air Force service with designation YY-20 or YU-20. Controversy. On July 13, 2016, Chinese national Su Bin pleaded guilty and admitted to charges that he conspired with others to hack into U.S. defense contractor, Boeing, and steal documents related to the development of the C-17, F-22, and F-35 aircraft. Once the information was stolen, he admitted to analyzing and translating documents from English to Chinese, which he then emailed to the 2nd Department of the People's Liberation Army General Staff Department. Su Bin admitted he did so for financial gain, and sought to profit from the data that was stolen. In addition to financial gain, court documents revealed, in emails to the 2nd Department of the People's Liberation Army, Su Bin noted the information has extremely vital significance in our country's speeding up the development of Project A, revealed to be China's program to develop the Xi'an Y-20.